in the country. I believe we can make a difference here on reducing our dependency on those sources of energy while simultaneously rolling back the problems of global warming. Today we have the solar polar caps rather melting. We have greenhouse gases that are accumulating at record levels way beyond expectations. We really have the dual responsibility here of reducing the polluting effects of depending upon fossil fuels and also allowing us to develop the alternative technologies that would allow us to move beyond this issue. I've introduced a plan here that would require by the year 2017, 50 miles per gallon standard for our automobiles. I believe that can be done. We're going to do it immediately, and a carbon tax, in my view, so that you would make these polluting dependencies to polluting fuels more expensive and encourage them through the use of revenues collected to move aggressively on developing the alternative technologies of solar and wind and other sources of energy we can use.
Thank you, Senator. But the question is, what would you do right now to reduce the price of gasoline?
Well, what we've offered already, in fact, and that is, of course, we ought to be saying here that when the price of a barrel of oil gets beyond $40 a barrel, when there's plenty of profit here, that those dollars ought to be returned to the consumers in a rebate or plowed back into the research that would allow us to develop alternative technologies. But the real way to get away from this here, our dependency on that kind of fuel is causing us serious problems across the board. So it isn't just a price of fuel issue here. It's also depending upon polluting technologies that are going to cost us so much.
Well, I was energy secretary. In my state, we call it the clean energy state. We have incentives for solar, wind, biomass, biofuels. We require renewable technologies, 20% of our electricity. Here's the answer is this. We need an Apollo program, led by a president, asking every American to sacrifice, to conserve, that would reduce our dependence on foreign oil, which is 65% imported, to 10%. I have the most aggressive plan according to the League of Conservation Voters. Right. It would go to 80% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by the year 20.
I'm going to let Senator Biden weigh in as well. What would you do specifically?